Hail, hail, and welcome to A Celtic World North America. We're part of Celtic World YouTube channel, which has a series of podcasts highlighting the worldwide Celtic support. On our show, we try to bring a little bit of the North American view to what's happening at the club. Another crazy week at the club. Derby weekend always brings out a bit of madness, but this one had a little bit of extra for us. Extra time. Horrendous performance by Celtic, 0 shots, penalties, and then a bit of a post-match fracas. So we're missing some important players, and we're just terrible on the attacking side of things. But defensively, turned up with a gutsy performance, led by the goalkeeper, who pretty much everyone we have had on the show over the 35 episodes we have done already have been calling for to play more. So we're into the Scottish Cup semifinals. We're in the running to win the league still with 9 games to go. So 11 games to go in this insane season. Can you imagine if it ends with us winning 2 trophies? I couldn't have said that 3-4 weeks ago, but Scotland will never recover if that does happen.
Yeah. Does Wilfred Nancy get a medal, by the way, if we...
I hope not.
Wouldn't that be just... Would Belaquisha get a medal?
How many games? I don't know how many games you have to play, but let me introduce everybody on here has been on here before. Chris, welcome back. Chris, welcome. You're here every week. Good to see you. We'll get to talk later about you got to visit Nashville again for the game over the weekend. So talk about that. Sean Finn from Pittsburgh, welcome back, Sean. Our most prolific guest. I think this is like your 8th or 9th appearance.
Yeah.
And
it
then
seems like I'm always on after something really crazy happens. So.
Well, that's every week. I feel like there's no let up. But
the Celtic soap opera.
It really has been. There's been. I mean, every week I feel like there's just no shortage of shit to talk about. So, and then last but not least, David from Philly Plough Bhoys.
Cheers, everyone. My
fellow Plough Boy. I'm a paid member again, so I can finally say that after all these years. So good to have you guys on. Chris guilted me into it on Thursday night. So I mean, first things first, I guess. Dive into the game on Sunday, which was one of the more bizarre games, bizarre derbies too, that you would say. Kind of had that a little bit of the feel of the first one, except on our side, the first one this season we played at Ibrox, which is a 0-0 draw, where it almost looked like both teams decided before the game, let's just have a 0-0 draw and we'll just move on from here. But I mean, lots of talking points though. The game might have been horrible for 120 minutes for us, but I guess first thing, and I'll throw it to you, Chris. The free Broom Loan stand. What was it like seeing 7,500 Celtic fans back in Ibrox?
It felt like old times. It felt like, hey, we at least have a chance to be in this again. I'm hesitant to be overly whatever about things, but I think a derby of this magnitude needs to have a full allocation of fans, to make it what it was. Because I mean, Martin O'Neill even alluded to it, either leading up to or during, both of them being at Ibrox. That just it does make for the occasion that that Celtic is represented from a vocal support that's not just a little bitty corner in the section that's been cordoned off and whatever. It's like, hey, let's be somewhat respectful of hey, we'll let you have a, an away support here. I mean, it's just it's messed up the way that all of that has been. All of it is shaken out, and it's always because it's a safety issue. And I mean, I know we're going to get into that later, but it's a safety issue all the way around, that that they would never guarantee your safety. And when we have 7,500 people there, like, that was our safety for this one. But yeah, I mean, it was just great to see on TV. Just, I mean, from an American perspective, to have that level of passion, and you see that of the full broadloom being full. I mean, that's something.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, the look of it is great. It adds to the, pageantry of the Derby, and it did, like, those. I mean, it's been probably 2 or 3 years where we had no fans in there, and then like it's just a different vibe to it. Particularly, I mean, I think back to on our side, I guess. I remember when Kyogo scored against them, like probably like 2 seasons ago, like right before the half, like a long shot from outside the box, and it just you hear the ball hit the net, and that was it. Like, there's no sound.
Was the silence.
No sound. Sound to it whatsoever. Which, like, for us, I guess, is good, like, in scoring that goal. But it doesn't. It does kind of ruin some of the, like I said, the bigness of the event. So
yeah.
David, how about stealing "Simply the Best" from?
I have loved every second of that. Definitely. I mean, I when I'm driving to work, I literally have had that on repeat. Just basking in it. We kind of did it a little bit. Was it at the start? I think the 0-0. We kind of did it a little bit.
Right.
But we absolutely stole it these last 2 games. That much that, like, their fans are now, like, raging and demanding that Rangers drop that as the song that they come out to, because I mean, the words don't even make any sense, and they haven't made any sense for so many years. So how's, like, I know they are not the brightest bunch, but, like, how's it took them that long to realize that they're not simply the best? You know what I mean? Like we should just take that song against Motherwell at the weekend, just play it. Just play it. Just play it, and they will never ever play it again. And then that's something that we've just took from them. So I'm all for it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean, I've been singing it to myself all week, and, like, even just me singing it, and then my wife hears me singing it, and, like, she doesn't even know half the story to it, and, like, she's just singing around, walking around singing "Simply the Best." She doesn't even know why. But so yeah, that whole thing, and, like, they didn't get to do a full-on tifo, I think, like they probably planned, but the streamers and all that shit, like, it did add a little bit of something, and the song, belting out "Simply the Best," that was hilarious. But, and then, so let me throw out to you first thing. I'll throw to Sean. And I mean, there was surprises in the lineup for me. What was your thoughts when you saw the lineup coming out, Sean, on Sunday morning?
Well, I had heard. I mean, obviously, it didn't sound like KT was going to play, but obviously McGregor was kind of a surprise. I did hear something about him maybe having a knock like right before, but I was like, no way, he's going to be that in. So, I was like, Scales as captain, I can see it. Not a bad choice, I guess, but him at left back, that was a little surprising. Thinking back on it, makes sense to me though. Just get tall guys in there.
Rangers are a big team.
Yeah, right, exactly. when I saw the midfield, I was like, okay, who's gonna play the McGregor role? And it turned out it was pretty much like McCowan, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I thought when Bernardo came on, he looked really good.
He was excellent.
So I really thought that maybe starting him would have probably been a better choice. I'm not saying he's like the a good replacement for McGregor in the 6 role, but I do think that he has a little bit more defensive awareness and ability to turn. I guess Engels probably would have been in there if he was fit. And then, I mean, the front three. I mean, I guess you get Dawson in there to press them, and the other guys are decent on that too. But as far as creativity, it was sorely lacking, as it has been most of this season. So, I mean, I was happy to see Sinisalo again, and it turned out to be a really good game for him. Other than that, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, who else?
Yeah.
Maybe Ox starting. I don't know.
Yeah,
and seeing Mbuko on the bench was like,
that was a surprise. Yeah. Chris, how about you? Any thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, no, I actually was, because I was driving to Nashville. I didn't see the lineup when it came out. So when I got there and I finally checked my phone and I looked at it and everything, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Who is what? Hold on, Scales is at left back, and it really kind of took me a minute because it was like, I don't know, 45 minutes before kickoff that I'm like, completely on the road and not able to check my phone or whatever. So I mean, it was strange, but I didn't have a chance to react to it, I guess is the right way to put it. It was basically like, well, let's get on with it then, because but I was surprised. I'll put it that way. I probably more so for McGregor than anything else, because I didn't know that he was carrying an injury, from Ibrox last week, and I mean, it just, the whole thing is strange. So that was the only really confusing thing for me. It's like, where's McGregor? Why is Scales at left back? But like Sean said, though, the Sinisalo in the sticks, man, I keep that train running. I think that's the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, for me, I was like you, Chris. I didn't get to see the lineup because I was driving down to Philly until I got there, and then I'm sitting at the table pulling it up, and I was out all day Saturday before, and I guess I knew nothing about McGregor. So that was a shock to me. That was a shock to me too. It's not seeing him in there, and then not feeling really great about the game going into it before seeing that. And then, like Sean said, our McCowan's going to be probably playing in that role. I'm just feeling like we have no shot, and so it was, and we kind of put that type of performance in. But David, how about you? Were you cool with the lineup, I guess, based on what we had in the tank?
I mean, for what we had, but I mean, I hate to say it, but all season we've kind of been struggling for leadership, I think. I know Callum's tried his best, and he definitely is a leader. But he hasn't been completely on his game this season. I think the penalty that he missed last season kind of is still maybe affecting him just a little bit. But when I saw he was missing again, and Scales is your next obvious choice for captain, but you're still kind of looking like, I mean, Scales is one of those divided players where some of the support don't think he's good enough, where some of the support think he's been our most consistent defender this season. And that kind of, again, makes it difficult. But when you look at that lineup, was there really another person who should have stepped into that captaincy? I don't really think there was, to be honest. I don't think anybody has, even like Trusty is not particularly a big leader.
No.
I mean, you could give it to Araujo just because he's fucking mental, but you wouldn't. But Martin O'Neill wouldn't do that. So I think Scales played the left back role brilliantly. I mean, Celtic defensively were fantastic. Like, we can't take away from that. Going forward, we were pretty. We were terrible. We literally had like one shot and it wasn't even on target. But defensively, they could not break us down. Sinisalo had a couple of saves, but they didn't have like any over, like they didn't have, I know they had like 20 odd shots or whatever, but they didn't have a like open goals that they should have scored. Like, our defensively, we were solid. They were putting crosses in. Our big guys were clearing them out. Our centre midfield wasn't that great. They weren't really stopping things. The wide players weren't stopping crosses coming in. But the back four, I thought were absolutely fantastic. But the weird thing is, like, again, very little talked about this, especially in the Scottish media. I have still yet to see an angle that Maeda's goal wasn't a good goal.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, it was a good goal. The angle that they gave us as to where they drew the lines did not show anything at all. I know I've seen another couple of angles, and again, you're like, maybe, but why does VAR not move those cameras back to just in front of the goal line so you're always looking forward
Exactly.
at the line? Why do they have these cameras like on the 18-yard box? It makes no sense whatsoever. Have it like even have it on the goal line, so you're always going to be looking back, and you can always draw that squiggly Rangers dominant line that the VAR guys like to do, Mr. Dallas and all the rest of them. So
yeah, I honestly
it looked like it was crossed.
I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they were drawing lines through people, like who at least on the one that they released, which
it was ridiculous. It didn't. And the thing is, VAR is meant to intervene if there is a clear and present mistake. There was nothing clear about that whatsoever. The goal had been given, and there was nothing that concretely said that is not a goal, and that goal should have stood. So,
yeah, I mean, honestly, like when I was at the bar at the Plough on Sunday, I said right after, I'm like, I think Scales might have been offside. I said that immediately, and a couple people next to me started yelling at me. Like, but what about Scales getting tackled in the box 2 weeks ago? I'm like, well, that has nothing to do with that.
That got nothing to do with it.
But then, like, they showed no good replay.
Right.
There's
exactly
no. I mean,
like
at least the view I saw, I thought was that gave me the inkling that he might have been offside. Seemed like it would have been a better angle to show. But so that's what But I agree with you, Dave. If that's all they had to say that's offside, that's not enough, and it should have stood. Like, absolutely.
But the rule itself is idiotic. I mean, if his heel is offside, you know, what on earth does that have to do with where his head is? You know,
true.
And so, like, he wasn't even facing goal.
Right.
So I mean, it's an idiotic rule, and the way that they re-referee it is even more idiotic.
Yeah. And I was dying for Dyson to have a bit of positivity too, like, because I feel like he just needs something good to happen for him. Like, hadn't scored in, I think, like 13 or 14 games or something like that. So
he's running out of haircuts. That's the thing.
Yeah.
he needs a lucky haircut. He's got to keep one before the end of the season. So
shave it all off again.
Yeah, if he goes back to a shave head and a mustache. That's what he needs to do.
Right.
I think he was scaring his daughter with that hair, so I can understand switching that up. But I mean, honestly, that there was not much of anything happening for Celtic in the first half, and really the whole game. I was listening to huddle breakdown earlier, and Alan on there was saying like we were credited with one shot not on goal, and he's like, I watched the entire game and I can't even find that one shot that they're crediting us for. So he's like, he on his stats that he was putting out, he listed no shots, absolutely no shots for the whole game for Celtic, and I don't know.
Maybe they included Tav's penalty because, to be honest, he's always good for a positive for us. So,
but it was poor. I'll throw a comment in like Jason here, who else saw Trusty and panicked. Sometimes you do, but I do think, and that's probably the reason. And like I think David, you said the reason we had Scales, just put Scales in there probably over Srirachi, is that just to give us some size against their big boys. And it ended up, when you look at it, that's probably what saved us, because I mean we just cleared everything. Like we handled every cross, and
their two forwards, the two big guys up front, like they kind of got shut down. Like they really didn't have many chances at all. They're and those two big guys, that's kind of what they do. They try and bully the defense. And I thought Martin got that correct, playing Scales instead of Srirachi.
Yeah, and then I mean Trusty was just massive, like
excellent,
like blocking.
I think he had 8 block shots.
8 block shots. Yeah, that's what
that's fantastic.
I think I heard like we've like our highest amount of block shots in a game that we've had in however many last year. It was 11, and he had 8 just by himself. So like it was like he was humongous, and
very similar to the Atalanta match. You know, just that kind of we're just going to weather the storm, try to lump it up.
Yeah,
you know,
lump it up to our strikers and wingers who have no physicality whatsoever, and then our midfielders who can't win a second ball. It was not that part of the strategy probably did not work, but putting in the 3 big guys in the back, good idea by Martin. Chris, I mean, we talked about, we've been talking about it all season, but I think you can say man of the match, and we're kind of jumping all over the place, but that's fine because it was just a weird match, and there just wasn't a lot of talking points really during the 120 minutes. But Sinisalo, I mean, obviously best performance as a Celtic player, I think.
Easily.
But how commanding he was in the box, which we are not used to that from Schmeichel. Hart was okay at it, and just going back like that, I can't think of anybody who put in a commanding performance like that as our keeper.
I mean, it's definitely been a minute, and you know, I will say this: Schmeichel's first season, he had several matches that he was that kind of beast, right?
Yeah.
That we all looked at him and were like, man, he's stopping stuff that we didn't expect him to stop, and I just think that the torch is passed now, but yeah, Sinisalo, I mean, he really put in a shift on Sunday. Like from the moment that he was in, it was nonstop pressure, and you know, David said earlier, I think defensively that was probably one of the best defensive performances I've seen easily this season. Just from the sheer number that we blocked, stopped, you know, saved, whatever it was, they didn't do anything. And I actually said to one of the guys there at Nashville, Connor, I said, you know, one of the things that Martin O'Neill has done, especially in the second spell, is I feel like he has simplified the game for everybody that's there, right? So he knew that going forward that maybe we don't have the physicality, or they were going to get bullied, or you know, whatever the case may be. But he did think hedge his bets towards, if we can hold them defensively, we can be in it. And it's a completely different mindset definitely from Wilfred Nancy. I'm not even going to mention that, but like, let's go back to Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers wouldn't have gone into that match with that same mindset. Brendan Rodgers would have been like, no, you gotta go at him. You gotta go at him hard.
Yeah.
Ange would have done the same thing. But the way that Martin O'Neill has been able to simplify, especially on defense, because I mean, let's be honest, defensively we've been shite all year, right? Like we've been terrible defensively. But since Martin O'Neill has come back the second time, I feel like we've improved defensively to the point that Sinisalo having a massive game, Trusty having a massive game, Scales at left back. I mean, you got Ben Arthur in there. Ben Arthur looked fucking great in that first half, in my opinion. I mean,
he was solid, definitely.
I mean, I didn't see any real mistakes that made me go, hey, there's not a player there. So, but I just really think defensively we've come a long way. And if we look back, let's say we, win the Scottish Cup and we're, league champs, right? We do a double. We've got to look at Martin O'Neill, what adjustments he made in simplifying it for our defense, because up until this point, we've been terrible defensively.
Yeah, we have. I mean, can you also, I think the play of Sinisalo and like having that guy who is willing to come out and like handle a cross like at the 6-yard box or even further. He was coming out way far a couple times. I mean, that makes the defense, the back four's job a lot easier. And
exactly.
I think
gives them confidence too.
Confidence. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like
confidence.
And belief, like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have to cover as much ground, like I know that he's got this covered. I have my area to cover, and that's gives Trusty, Arthur, Scales those chances just to win those headers, because they had a ton of those crosses thrown in, like a couple times where we fouled them in bad spots and they were able to get crosses in, but we handled almost every single one of them, like whether it was Sinisalo coming out to take it or punch it clear or the big center backs winning headers, and Trusty particularly. I mean, I think you could come down to Sinisalo or Trusty as man of the match, and you can go either way, and it's fine. I'll throw up a couple Trusty comments from this is a good one from Sean O'Farrell. It's kind of true.
I think Sinisalo being very decisive in how he was dealing with any situation was really good, because I think we've been lacking that from Schmeichel, just because I think Schmeichel's more worried about how he's going to do anything with only one arm. But Sinisalo was very, very athletic, and like David said and Chris said, just giving the backline the confidence. I think having Trusty play on his more comfortable left side was a big deal as well. So you have to think, well, he's out for what, is Motherwell the last match he's suspended?
He's out for Motherwell. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I think when Dane Murray came on, I thought he was really good.
I thought he was excellent.
Yeah.
Just kind of coming in and being I thought Arthur was good. I thought that there was a little decisiveness to his play, especially trying to get out of situations. But you, like Chris said, there's a player there for sure. And I think there was a comment saying maybe we should try to get him for another year. We have one of the guys in our CSC who's a big Brentford guy, and he said that they really have high hopes for him at Brentford. So I'm wondering if another season of kind of getting him a lot of minutes in the Scottish League would be beneficial to him. But Dane Murray, I thought, acquitted himself well. And
I think there's a really good player there in Murray, by the way.
Yeah.
I think Brendan Rodgers saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically enough, it was Murray's mistake that kind of put the nail in Brendan's coffin, but I genuinely think he is a unit of a guy. He can pass a ball too. Yes, he makes a few mistakes. He missed like 2 years of football with some really bad injuries. So yeah, he's a little bit older. He's not a kid anymore. But he missed those years of progression. But I think I really do. I think there's a really good player in there. I think he's going to come on and be something really, really good for Celtic. I really do.
Yeah, physically,
he's what we miss. He's a youth. He's 6'3". He's actually like he carries it. He's not lanky like Fanchara. He's like he's a proper unit. He's a proper defender. But he can also pass the ball. He can pick a pass as well. So
right. I also think it was good. Like last week, he had the error on Hunn's second goal. And came back from it and was the whiff and was, I thought, dominant the rest of the game. So he didn't it didn't affect his play the rest of the game, which like you said, Dave, he's not the young. He's still pretty young, but not
he's not like a kid. He's
23, 23.
Yeah, something. Yeah, he's 22, 23.
23,
Yeah, I think he's like 23. I don't think he's 25.
Arne Engels is younger than him. You know what I mean? And you see how much people get on Engels back. Like Engels has just turned 22. Like again, he's such a young guy as well. Like there's so much room for them to grow in a confident team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing. We need this confident team. I think next season, whoever we bring in, you're going to see this confidence is going to come back. Assuming the board doesn't make a fucking cunt of it as they normally do, but let's be honest. Pardon my French.
That would be.
But he's been here for how long?
Who?
Yeah. Dane Murray.
Yeah, he's been there.
I mean, he started playing when he was 18 or 18 or 19 when he played his first game pro. So.
Yeah, he got 2 bad injuries. He done I think it was his knee. He done his knee badly. He missed nearly like 18 months. I think he missed. But that's a lot of progression time when you're that young, So, but when he came back, he was like bigger. He'd clearly been working out. You're working on his upper half. He couldn't work on his lower half, but he came back as a proper unit, So.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a player. And I guess, that'll be a decision for probably Martin this weekend, which way to go. Do you go Arthur? Do you go Murray? I'd probably think Murray, but
that's a good question.
We could talk about that later once we get into the Monroe game. We're jumping all over the place. Sorry. But no, it's my fault. I guess, I did. But I think one of the frustrating aspect, and especially with McGregor, and we are missing a lot of guys. So missing Engels and McGregor for that game, it really showed. I thought Hatate was decent out of any of the guys, the first 3 who started. Starting to show a little bit of more toughness, I think. The other 2 guys I just got, Nygren and McCowan, were invisible. I think Hatate tried to put his stamp on the game a little bit. So good for him because I think we need him.
there were times that Rio looked okay. I wouldn't say there were long spells of it, but like there would be 1 or 2 passes that he would make, and then it would be somebody else that didn't get to the pass, or whatever the case may be. But I thought Rio had a good game on Sunday.
Yeah, out of anybody in the midfield, definitely. Sure. And I do think Bernardo coming on, I think was good in the second half, which was. Does anybody else feel as though Bernardo has never ever in his Celtic career actually been given a proper chance? Like he's never had like 4 or 5 games to get himself up to match fitness, because obviously you can be fit, but match fitness is a different fitness. And he's never had 4 or 5 games where he actually got to play in a role, because obviously McGregor's normally there, and
kind of Bernardo was kind of pushed in. All right, if McGregor isn't there, then Bernardo's going to fill in for him. But I'm a bit. See, when he played for Portugal under-21s, when he was the captain of Portugal under-21s, and they were like winning these European competitions and stuff, and he was the captain, and he was playing in an attacking centre midfield role, and he's never ever got four games in a row where he actually got to try and get himself up to speed. And I don't know if that's because maybe the managers, because it's not just one manager, it's like the last 3 or 4 managers, nobody has given him that chance. So are they seeing some, maybe, I mean, is it that kind of lackadaisical kind of mannerism that he has? They feel as though he's not trying hard enough and he could try harder. I don't know. I feel as though there's a really, really top class player in there again, and he's not really been given the opportunity to show us, the fans, what he can actually do. I mean, that's maybe just me, but I don't know.
No, I agree. And we paid a decent fee for him.
Yeah, it was like 5 million or something.
Yeah. So you would think they would give him more of a chance. But yeah, I think you're right. He hasn't gotten a good stretch of games.
Yeah, and he's been here for like 4 years now, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his contract situation is, but he's probably maybe in his last year, coming next year. I'm not sure. So,
yeah,
are they going to sell him?
Did he not get a decent run when he first came in under Ange?
I think it was was it not Brendan that bought him? I know. I think he came in on loan under Ange. I think Brendan wanted the 5 million spent. But even when he came in under Brendan still never really played him, you know. So,
no, he didn't.
So what are they seeing?
What I'm saying is that he came in on loan under Ange, right?
Yeah. I believe so.
I think it was,
And he got a decent run there, because that was O'Reilly was still in the team.
Yeah.
Wasn't Bernardo, O'Reilly, and McGregor the midfield for a while?
I feel like it's McGregor and Hatate.
I think Hatate was still there then. So
they're almost
he was never the first choice. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I was going to say was that it seems though whenever he does come in, it's always kind of in that. I guess he has had a couple of shifts at more like an attacking midfielder, but it seems he's always like kind of like coming in for more of a defensive role. Yeah,
as a McGregor replacement.
Yeah, right. And maybe you're right, David, that he would. I don't know. It's hard because you hit the nail on the head when he just never seems to get a good run, and maybe McGregor, being out, which unfortunately I have a feeling this is going to be that Achilles issue that seems to be chronic with him.
Yeah, same as last season.
Keep him out for longer than we would like. So maybe this is a chance because I think when Bernardo did come on, he looked confident and pretty tidy, and maybe he gets a run now.
Yeah,
I could see it happening.
Because you want someone in it, like the McGregor role. It literally is. I mean, McGregor's not an amazing tackler. Like, he's not a defensive midfielder. He is there to take the ball from the centre backs. He's meant to pivot, and he plays the ball quickly. He takes touch, pass. Like, that's what Brendan Rodgers was like, touch, pass. Ange is the same. Touch, pass. That's what you want. And I feel as though Bernardo has that mentality that he can play that role. Like, you get the ball, Scales gives you the ball, Trusty gives you the ball, you turn, you pass, you play the ball out to one of your wide guys, or you play it forward to your centre forward, then he plays. Like, it's a massive role in our team, and it always has been, whoever the manager's been, apart from our French friend, yeah. So it's a massive role, and yeah, I feel as though I think Bernardo can play that role. I really do, but I think he might be better further forward. But I don't know if he's going to get that chance.
Yeah, we may. I could see him starting on Saturday if McGregor.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he gets that run to finish the season. So
maybe.
But there are times this season where I felt like, all right, I want to see Bernardo, and then he came in and he just gave a nothing performance.
Yeah, it was not even nothing. Yeah.
So
never saw him.
he's a frustrating, but it's this season. As I mean, you could say that about a lot of guys
Every
in this
player.
side today, or it's been a brutal season. I'll throw up another Sean comment, and it's true. The worst Celtic team in years, and we really are.
That's just peak.
So it's been a good week of that stuff. As poor as we played, it's still been fun. So like I said, I mean, there's not a lot of talking points of the actual action in the game. We can kind of broadly say that Celtic defended stoutly, and I think by the end of the game, you could see, and I think Martin said it, they were out on their feet. I actually said that I was with Seamus, sitting there with Seamus. I'm like, we're out on our feet right now. I could honestly see this game ended up like 3-0. Like Rangers just scored 3 goals in extra time. And right after that, they get the goal from Fernandez with the double handball on.
I know. What was he doing celebrating? He literally punched the ball in the net. What a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like what you say, like, you punched it in the net, and you know there's cameras watching you. Like, come on.
Oh, that was.
But yeah, that was so bad. You're like, I mean, everybody in the bar was like, knew it was like. Sometimes you're watching that, and you're like, oh, I don't know, they might not call that back. But not that one. That was about as blatant, like punching it into the goal. Like,
yeah, it was like Maradona. You know what I mean? Like it was that obvious. However, that was given.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. The Hund of God.
So other, like, and I'll throw like this comment outside of his penalty, and we'll talk about penalties soon. Another guy, like you didn't even barely notice him out there on the pitch, and another guy who came up in the comments a lot. Like Mvuka was, you noticed him, but more noticed how just poor. Like, couldn't dribble a ball, he just flubbed the balls as he's trying to clear them. Like nothing. No, I don't see anything in him that would like say he's a player. And we haven't seen him. He came we got him on loan. He played the first 45 minutes, and then we haven't seen him since. And they trot him out in Gaston's. He wasn't even on the bench for like the last couple weeks. So our attacking options, like at the moment, and are just somebody needs to step up and score goals, like, because it's
I'm going to play devil's advocate with him in that game there. So that wasn't a game to be attacking. I think Martin O'Neill put him on because he knew he was going to press. And he did do that. Like he never stopped running when he came on. Yes, it took him 4 touches to get the ball under control. He did absolutely nothing going forward, but he was literally told, go on that pitch, because Tenecti was done, and he was just chased down that right back. Like, try and just stop that cross coming in. And to be honest, as the game went on, they got less and less. They got more and more impotent going forward. They created less and less as the game went on. And Mvuka was just literally told, just run like a maniac. Like, it doesn't matter what. When you get the ball, you can kick it out. I wouldn't even be surprised if Martin O'Neill told him that. And even after the game, probably said, "Well done, you did exactly what I wanted you to do. Just press. So I think that's all he was doing. I would like to see him in a home game. Now that he's kind of got a little bit more up to pace, because I know that first game, like, he was awful. He did nothing in the first half. And he may very well do nothing ever again. But I would like to see. I'm gonna give him one more chance. I don't think he'll get to start a game because every game is so important. But he may get to run on and literally just run to your heart's content and just run yourself into the ground. And you know what? See if he does that and we win the league and we win the cup, then I'm going to say good luck to him and I hope he goes on to have a good career. So
I agree.
Yeah.
But
he's been shagged so far.
Eric's comment, like, would Srirachi be better in that role as a press, just go out there and play defense over Mvuka? I don't know.
Srirachi's nowhere near as fast.
No, I don't.
True.
I mean, Mvuka has pace, like
he does,
and I think that's exactly what you were, emphasizing, David. Is just that it was just like a ball of chaos.
Yeah,
unleashed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And,
just follow the ball.
I mean,
Martin O'Neill probably said, "Follow the ball. Just chase the ball."
Exactly. Yeah, I think that really it rattled them a bit because they really looked like they were not pressing up as much.
It was an unknown though, right? So like he had 45 minutes, total that he's played up until then. So like you throw him in there, and they don't know what to expect. They've been conditioned for, Tonetki or Yang or whoever it is, and
I don't think Mvuka's legs know what to expect from his brain. So.
That's true. That's true. He was in places
like a cartoon.
He shouldn't have been. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like like Looney Tunes.
Well, ironically enough, it was when Tav came on, and so I think Martin O'Neill probably went, "Oh, let's send on our worst player up against Tav. He's going to be fine. Don't worry. Don't even worry about it."
You see the Tasmanian devil coming with this like cloud.
The Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
The Tasmanian devil. That's perfect.
All right. So 120 minutes go by. Some people say Celtic had one shot, other people say we had no shots over 120 minutes, which is scary. So penalties come up, and I know me, like Celtic and penalties gives me the fear. I think deservedly so, because one, I haven't seen goalkeepers save penalties for us, and then two, I just feel like we have no, and then particularly with Engels being out, Engels I feel like is the only guy I'm relatively confident in taking a penalty. So penalties come up, and I'm again back to like, I mean, it was probably our only chance to win this game with the way we played is to get at the penalties, but not feeling very confident. Tav steps up on the first penalty and puts it off the bar, and then immediately my mood, like I'm like, I think now I'm like, all right, I think we might have this, and so Chris takes through. Oxlade Chamberlain comes up first. That's who I would have thrown up first.
I mean, just ice water. I mean, he even looked at Don Robertson and was like, "Can I kick it now?" And Don Robertson's like, "Oh, yeah, you go ahead." And he just like sinks it in. And I just like you said, Sean. I as soon as Tav missed his and Ox sank his, I'm like, you know what?
It's so good. That's so good.
We've got this. I mean, like it was as quick as that. And I like you said, penalties give me the fear. Like it's one of those things in watching live sporting events that like it is so razor thin on whether or not something happens, right? And Tav getting up and hitting the crossbar and it bouncing off, and it shook the rest of their squad that's going to take the penalties.
Yeah.
And it hardened ours to sink all of theirs. Yeah. And something so minute just changes everything. So yeah, I'm super happy.
And that's what I think you've seen it with this Rangers team, like all season. The second things go poorly, they crumble, and that's when
they lack leaders as well, big time. They like Tav is their club captain, but sure, when he comes on, he's the captain, but he's not. He doesn't like their new manager. He clearly doesn't rate him. He doesn't want to start him, and he's meant to be the club captain. So I don't even know who even is the captain when who was the captain at the start of the game? I don't even know.
It was Butland. But I think
Butland. Well, exactly.
So last week, though,
goalkeepers do not make good captains because a goalkeeper can't influence. He can't G up the center forward. You know what I mean? He can't give instructions to the center forward or the attacking midfielder because he's stuck back in the goal all the time. A goalkeeper never makes a good captain. You want to have a captain as a leader, someone who excels, someone who is constantly playing at the top of their game. And Rangers do not have anybody who is at the top of their game. And I don't. A manager that doesn't know his best starting 11 is always going to struggle. And that role guy, he doesn't know his best starting 11 at all because he's lacking leaders as well, big time.
It's true.
Agreed.
I mean, I think they have depth, but like you're right. I mean, it's seemingly almost a different lineup every week.
Yeah.
From the lineup we played last week, and it wasn't related to injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have thought the guy Chukwani, the number 42 for them.
Yeah.
Like I like him, and he didn't start, and I'm like,
for some reason he got dropped. I didn't understand it either.
Put Diamande in, and I didn't see the reason for that. But.
He got booked after 5 minutes, and he was completely ineffectual because his whole game is about being a little harasser. But as soon as he gets a yellow card, he can't do that.
Yep.
Right.
So you're right.
Waste of a start.
Not knowing your lineup, what you're going to do every week, it does, I think, kind of set you back a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think Sinisalo on the penalties was great too. I mean, he didn't make a save, but I think he was.
At least he dove for it.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yes. But just made himself big and intimidating, and just like he did the whole game, controlling the box. I felt like he controlled that whole penalty period on both sides. Like people were, like everyone was saying, like how he every time a penalty went in, he'd went and grabbed the ball immediately to give the ball to our players. So that Butland doesn't get up there and whatever bullshit he's going to try and do. So everything about Sinisalo and the penalties, loved it. He almost made 2 saves, and then putting 2 over the bar. I mean, I think that is when you step up there and you see the goalie looking big, you're like, I gotta place this perfectly.
And what are the chances of them both landing in Dublin Airport? What are the chances of that?
Exactly. So then our penalties too, I would say Hatate's best penalty I've seen him take out of Celtic.
Better than 2 weeks before.
Yeah. I mean, just the perfect penalty, hit it firm, perfect spot. So that was good to see, just those guys stepping up. And then Shpanchara, at that point, I was 100% confident he was going to put that away. And it was just another perfect penalty. So
hopefully the both Hatate said Hatate, Fanchara. Hopefully they both take confidence from that, and at the weekend they push on from that. I think Fanchara definitely starts. I think if he gets a goal, it'll do the world of good for him because he's up to match fit now. And hopefully Hatate pushes on as well, because if McGregor's out, we need Hatate to stand up and be counted here. Yeah, surely Hatate wants to make some sort of push for the World Cup. If Celtic don't win the double and he's not man of the match in half of the games, he's never going to make the World Cup. Him and Maeda, that's their target. If you play well and you're successful, you'll get to the World Cup. How are they not rising themselves up to that level? You know what I mean? I know they want it. So what's going on? Why are they not? Why is their play dropped off so much? You know what I mean? Is it confidence in the whole team? Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think that has something to do with it, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so Shvanchara scores the penalty, and then everything fucking kicks off at Ibrox. So, I mean, Celtic fans come out of the stands to celebrate the goal. I still haven't seen anything like where I would say that. Obviously, yeah, you shouldn't come onto the pitch. I get that. I don't think there was. I think that was, purely a celebratory thing, and it comes down to how I think the game was policed and stewarded. That many Celtic fans, if they just let a couple on and then queued and got them right off, nothing would have happened, and it would have been fine. But Sean, I'll let you. So, I mean, what was your thoughts on just that, and then seeing the reaction from the other side to the Celtic fans coming onto the field?
Yeah, I think that, I heard that there was kind of like quite a few gate crashers from the Celtic end, which really there was probably 8,000 people in that stand. I've been hearing stories of people standing in the aisles and stuff like that. So I think that there was just a bit of a semi-crush happening, especially at the end when people were celebrating. But I agree, coming on the field, I didn't see it isn't great, but I didn't see anybody trying to start anything other than, getting selfies with the players and stuff like that. And then I know that there was, I think James was talking about, how his reaction, compared to like what if American sporting events and stuff like that. It just boggles the mind. I mean, I've been to Celtic Park plenty of times. It's obviously needs, modernized in a lot of ways, but most stadiums in Scotland are the same way. From how ticketing is worked to, the turnstiles and stuff like that. But if you can you ever imagine anything like that happening in an American sporting event? It boggles the mind, and you have to think that the police completely screwed it up, because regardless of how long it's been since we've gotten the full stand, that can happen. There's been, 50-50 splits at Hampden, in the recent past. There's been 2,500 Celtic fans back at Ibrox in the recent past. And you just have to plan for it. And it just seemed like they were completely oblivious of what may happen after a dramatic win like that. And I think, as far as, what the Rangers fans did, it inexcusable. And of course the media spins it where it's kind of, both sidesism and, blaming both sides. I think it could have gotten really bad if there was even a couple guys, people from the Celtic end, would have tried to engage there, but thankfully that didn't happen. And hopefully, the Ranger supporters that went on the field with obvious intent, and as well as throwing flares into a huge crowd. I mean, if that's not evidence of some sort of malicious intent, I don't know what is. But of course, do you expect anything to really happen? No.
I mean, they're never going to get a spot in the next Marvel movie at all. That's never going to happen.
Talk about.
To be honest, the funny thing is, though, so in Scotland, the reason that you cannot buy alcohol in football stadiums is because of, was it 1978? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but when Celtic and Rangers played at Hampden, and it was they ended
That
up
was
rioting
80.
afterwards when
Yeah,
Celtic
80.
won,
88.
and there was all the horses and stuff, and it
Mhm.
was rioting stuff. And Margaret Thatcher actually banned alcohol sales in Scotland at soccer matches. And it's never ever, the law was never ever changed. And you can go to a rugby game, you can go to Scotland, England rugby, and you can go buy a beer at Murrayfield. But you can't go to Celtic Park and you can't buy a beer, and they've never ever changed that law. And unfortunately, it's because of stuff like what went on Sunday, is the reason that they're not going to change that law for God knows when, how long they're going to change it. Is it fair? No, it's not fair, because 99% of the people just want to go and have a couple of beers and have a laugh, whatever. Unfortunately, stuff like this happens. The intensity of the derby, the immense hatred between each side just kicks off, and it overspills. And it's not the first time, it's not the last time. It'll probably happen the next game as well, even if there even are no fans there. I mean, it's not surprising. So yeah, it's sad, but it's not like it's new. As I said, I think it was 1978 that happened. So that was like what, 40 years ago. It's the same shit was going on, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, it was weird watching it at the Plough, because like once the game ended, the volume went off.
yeah,
So you were like, and you're just, it was weird not being able to hear what the announcers were saying about it, because you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and
yeah,
so it was, because you'd only get like little perspectives of what the camera view is, whereas the announcers probably have a much wider view of what's happening. So you're like, what the fuck is gonna? And like Sean, you said, like it could have gotten really bad, outside of the one Rangers guy who attacked one of our coaches.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And like something like that happening, like maybe if that happened closer to where the fans were, more of the Celtic fans get involved, but they're kind of the player like Siobhan Chara jumped in, and more probably the Celtic staff jumped in, whereas they're not looking to escalate it to another level. But if that happened by the Celtic fans, like who the fuck knows? Like it could have, and then you have more Huns jumping out of the other side and running in, and it could have just gotten.
But that
really
whole stadium, the pitch should have been barricaded with not stewards. Like, these stewards are getting paid £10 an hour. They're not there to stop people from fighting. Like, those stewards are there to point people in the right direction. They needed police officers there. They literally should have had a line of cops on the pitch, basically barricading the Celtic fans away from the rest of the stadium. That's all they had to do, just to stop that from happening. And then if Celtic fans had ran on, whatever, they would have got on like 6 yards, 12 yards out, and then made to go back. And then none of that stuff would have came on. But they should have had all of that barricaded off. And I don't think that doesn't come down to Celtic. That was up to Rangers to provide that level of safety for the crowd. Because, like, I don't know if you've seen, but when Rangers come to Celtic now, Celtic actually have a net to keep the fans in, so that nothing can get thrown at them. Nothing, like, so no one can throw a bottle or whatever. Sure, coins, whatever might get through, but you're not going to get bottles and stuff like that through. How many times have a Celtic player been hit by or a fan been hit by a bottle or something like that from when they're at Ibrox? So, you know what I mean? I feel as though I hope Rangers get. I think they will get seriously reprimanded for not having the safety precautions in place. And the police should as well, because the police should have been insisting on certain levels of stuff, and they clearly never had it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think this comment.
I was just going to say the same thing. It's. I mean, that's conspiracy theory kind of, but looking at, so I take that into account, and then taking into account that they did not have the tunnel covered as they were when they're leaving. Like, why? Like,
yeah, you saw that there's videos of the guys like just
Yeah.
like throwing stuff at Araho and like everything. They were even shouting at Rangers players as well, which is fine. But
but yeah, so like I don't know, there was not a big security presence from the looks of it, and like compare it to Scottish Cup games, so I guess semifinals like at Hampden. I mean, it seems like the entire pitch is like you see guys in the yellow jackets pretty much covering. It's almost a wall as opposed to, you know, one guy and then a 10-yard gap and then 10-yard. Like that's not going to do the job. Like it was just not policed well at all, and the stadium, you know, like I said, not having the cover over the tunnel as the players are leaving, particularly after as you see what's happening. Like that should be immediately what you do, is to like guarantee the players and staff and everybody's safety as they're leaving the field, because who knows, like what, like you said, they could easily get shit thrown at them from 2 yards away, like as these guys are trying to leave the stadium.
Not like it hasn't happened before.
Yeah. Chris, any thoughts on that? Do you like conspiracy wise? Do you think there's something to it?
Do I have a conspiracy about it? No. The only here's what I would say with the whole thing, right? So I read an interview with one of the I don't know if she was like a head of security or a police officer or whatever, but there was something about you've got to watch what the intent was, right? So I'm not in no way, you know, fans shouldn't be on the pitch at any time, right? Like it happens in a big celebration, blah, 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 blah. Fans should be on the pitch. So I will admit that shouldn't happen. But if they had the police in place, that wouldn't have happened, right? That's what kicked it all off. Is, you know, we went on penalties at Ibrox. I mean, you can't think that, you know, this is one of a monumental kind of win to win on penalties at Ibrox in the Scottish Cup, knocking them out, blah 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 blah. It spills over, and I don't like you said earlier, Sean, that I haven't seen any video where any Celtic fan has passed the 18-yard box, right? Mm-hmm. So like they didn't get too far out, but just enough to get to where the Celtic players were, right? Mm-hmm. And immediately the intent was not celebration from the other side. The intent was, I'm going to throw flares at your fans, you know, and they came, 80 yards roughly from the Onion Bears box all the way to the 18-yard box to start throwing flares at people. And when all of that kicked off, you saw, you can go back and rewatch it. You can see this, I don't know, maybe 6 to 12 little Spider-Man jump out, right? And they run about 20 yards and they turn around because they want to see if the rest of them are coming too.
Exactly. Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, that's when you see the other guy jump the rail and attack. I guess it was a member of the Celtic staff, but you see that. Yeah, you see that happen, and then it just barreled after that, and then you see 100 Onion Bears running this way, right? And I just the whole thing is bizarre for a number of reasons, because it shouldn't have happened. If there was, you know, one of the things over the last, I would say, 5 years, when they've been going back and forth from a full broad loom to 2,500 to 750 to, you know, no fans at all, right? One of the things that they've been talking about is the amount of safety that they can guarantee, right? And at Ibrox, they never guarantee your safety, ever.
No.
Ever. And repeatedly, they have been told, hey, your fans can't throw shit at our fans. They can't do it. They shouldn't do it. You shouldn't want them to do it. And repeatedly, Ibrox has said, "No, we're just going to make a statement and say that that's not true." But time and time again, stuff gets thrown at fans. Stuff gets thrown at players. Stuff happens, right? What did Celtic do in this whole thing? You know, when Ibrox was being renovated and they said, for safety precautions, Ibrox is closed. That happened last year before, or whatever.
Last season, I think, yeah.
And one of the safety things was putting one of those damn screens, like we installed at Celtic Park, to comply with it. And they never did it at Ibrox because you know what? They don't care. They don't care. They spun this whole thing as a both sides issue. Now, all that to be said, there were a number of people that crashed the gates. There were a number of people that defaced property. There were a number of things that happened that we as Celtic supporters should be like, hey, we need to be policing our own, that these things shouldn't happen, right? We shouldn't be on the pitch. We shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. But don't think for a minute that this wasn't spun as a both sides issue when it's clearly the people with the intent that wanted to go after the Celtic fans, supporters, players, coaches, whoever. You know, they were after Hoopy, I heard. You know, when like you had the guy that I think it was from Dundee Emerald that was attacked outside of Ibrox.
Yeah,
getting on the bus. He's in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
seriously hurt.
Where the fuck's the police if this is something that's supposed to happen? Because I'll tell you what doesn't get countered is that Celtic supporters get kettled. Yeah, Celtic supporters get kettled in areas that they can't go into. They can't do this, that, and the other. They can't leave. They can't do all this.
Heard
stuff.
that was a mess too.
Yeah, and I mean. They're talking out of both sides of their mouths. It's not a both sides issue. It's a Rangers issue. It's an Ibrox issue. It's a they don't want to fucking deal with it issue.
Agreed.
And you know, I get upset about it because you know we in so many things that passion fuels us, right? Going into that match. To win on penalties, you can't fucking beat that, man. that is pure passion right there, right? And you then have to look at intent. And if the intent was celebration for winning on penalties at your hated rivals, you know, home field, I get it. Shouldn't happen, but I get it, right?
Yeah.
You can't say the same thing for the 300 onion bears that ran across the field that wanted to throw flares.
Yeah,
I mean, and you know, I think the sad thing and the thing that really needs to be addressed is what is Celtic going to do about it, right? Because I know for a fact that eventually they're just going to say, well, we're not going to allow supporters, you know, away support from Rangers or Celtic at these matches.
There's not going to be any away fans for years now.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
No,
and that's a shame because up until that point, that was brilliant. That was fucking brilliant. You know, most of the stadium being all Huns, and then the broad loom, nothing but green, white, and it's just fucking brilliant. And it's just it's a shame that it immediately comes to that, but it's not surprising, and we shouldn't be shocked that it happens. But
I've got to be honest, so I've been in the US for like 16 years, and before that, I've still got my season ticket. I used to go Ibrox twice a year, every single time I could get, every single game I would go for like 15 years before that. And the best games I've ever been to, the best atmospheres I've ever been to, a bunch of them are at Ibrox. When there was 7,500, because Celtic would always get the Broomloan Road stand. There'd be 7,500 fans there. It was just amazing. Like the noise was just incredible. And to be honest, I've never ever heard a noise louder than when Rangers actually score when you're at Ibrox, because the ball hits the net and there's a silence, and then all of a sudden you just hear these three stands just this with sheer hatred just thrown at you. And I remember, like, I used to go as when I was 15 and 16, and like as a kid I was like, fucking hell, this is insane. But when Celtic scored at Ibrox, there was no better feeling. No better feeling at all. One of the best games I ever was at in my entire life. Definitely in my top 5 games I've ever been to. We didn't even win the game. It was when it was 3 each against Rangers at Ibrox, and the Flying Hippo fucking saved to make it 4-3 when Van Hooijdonk had the volley from a Tosh McKinley cross. Van Hooijdonk had the volley, and I thought it was in. As same as everyone else in the whole stand jumped up, and we couldn't believe that he put out this little deformed hand and like pushed and saved and put. I've not, one of the best saves I've ever seen in my life. But the fact that feeling is now getting taken away from young Celtic fans who are coming up through generations. Every Celtic fan should get to experience that, because it's moments like that that just are like iconic. Like that still sits with me. As I said, even though we didn't win, it still sits with me. And I genuinely used to love going to Ibrox, and it wasn't the hassle of what you got now. Yes, the cops would keep you apart. They absolutely would, but it seemed like there was more policing back then to keep people apart. Mm-hmm. It's funny, when you went into the stadium, like none of the food places were open. They had no signs up, nothing, everything. It was like going into a prison, because they took everything down because they knew we were going to destroy it. The toilet doors were like, there was no doors on the toilets, because when you went, like I remember one time I went in at the end of the game, all the toilet doors had been ripped off. And unfortunately, and I don't agree with that at all. I do not think that is a good thing at all in the slightest.
Agreed.
But that's also what Rangers fans do at Celtic Park. And it kind of became a tit for tat thing, and now that was probably one of the reasons, was the fact that Celtic and Rangers were having to pay all this money after a Celtic Rangers game to get stuff fixed. I mean, I saw a lot of bullshit today. Rangers fans say, "Oh, there's a chance that the Broomloan Road stand won't be open for the game." Are they playing Aberdeen this weekend? I think there's a chance that the Broomloan Road stand won't be ready for the game because Celtic trashed it so bad. We probably did, but like I don't agree with that at all. I want 7,500 Celtic fans at Ibrox. I want 7,500 Rangers fans at Celtic Park, because it adds to the atmosphere. It adds to the tension. When one team's fans sing a song, the other team's fans start again and sing it back, and it's just there's nothing better than that intense rivalry. Like it makes the hair on the back of your head just stand up, like for the entire game. Like it really does. It's a crazy feeling. I hope somehow they find a way to figure it out. But unfortunately, I think for the next couple of years, you're never going to see a Celtic or a Rangers fan in the opposition stadium for a long time. So
agreed.
Yeah. Did I see today that I thought I saw on social media they're going to let 2,500 into Celtic Park.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know where that
I
would
am
be,
surprised at that.
Well, there's a net that's going to keep them safe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for me, like that's the thing, is that I feel like there were concessions made by Celtic in past seasons to say, hey, we want the full allotment of fans in, and we made these changes, and Ibrox didn't.
Yeah, they never did it. They never did the things that were agreed on.
So fuck them. Like that's pretty much my feeling. Is just fuck them. If that's the way that's going to be, then that's the way it's going to be. But it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's made for an interesting week, though, I guess, in the aftermath of it. Like, it's kind of adding on to the just bizarreness of that entire game, like 120 minutes, but it adds to it, like you said, like Chris, you said, winning on penalties there, but just winning at Ibrox with a very second tier Celtic side with no shots. Well, it's got to hurt them. Well, and then the aftermath of the game still.
Think about this though, right? So like if let's say Dazumaeda's goal went in, right, and we won the match in the 90 minutes or 95 minutes or whatever the fuck it came out to, right? Let's say that happened. I don't think that we would celebrate the way that we did, right? And they can't be mad at that. It went to penalties. That's the thing I keep coming back to is like all they did was build pressure and build pressure and build pressure. What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah,
I mean, like it's not rocket science, like you said. It's been 1980 since the last time that the riot at Hamden happened, right? So that's been what 46 years. I mean, like that's a big deal for it to be that long, right? But like because it's happened before, don't you think it's going to happen again? Absolutely.
It'll happen in another 40 years.
They are setting it up so that it's easy to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people need to look at is like, well, there are ways to make this happen where you can get a full, allotment of fans and both away supports, but only one team has been committed to like making that happen, and it's not Celtic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, so we've been going an hour and 20 on the game. Our first topic.
Yes.
But I have one more thing to throw to it. And it's just going back to, and Leanne had it in the comments about the lack of policing and was it intentional kind of. Let's all throw up our conspiracy theory and that we don't know.
Well, most of the cops are at the game in the Rangers end, so that's why they can't get them to do any overtime.
But does it come down to the fact that maybe one, the Huns don't want us in their stadium, so allow this shit to happen. Does the police not want to have to deal with this shit?
Yeah.
So let this shit happen. Like,
if you really want to go the conspiracy theory route, right? So they didn't want to make the any changes for away fans' safety, so therefore they were okay with that happening.
Yeah.
That's the conspiracy theory then.
Yeah, they don't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of things to it, but
I mean an extra 5,500 fans, away fans in there compared to what it's been. That's a lot more expensive.
True strange love.
Absolutely strange love.
So all in all, we'll take moving on to the semifinals. So we got St. Mirren. I don't even know when that game is. So back to Hamden. Against St. Mirren. It's April 18th? Yeah, the weekend after Detroit. I know it is that weekend after Detroit. So so that'll be fun. But let's
get some revenge.
Yes.
On a big pitch, we'll take care of them. We'll do them. Yeah. We'll actually be able to play football. We struggle against them on a smaller pitch because they're bigger guys. They pump the ball long. Smaller pitch, don't let it play wide. But Hamden, we normally do well against other teams because we actually get to play football. So hopefully that should be good for us.
No Nancy as manager this time.
Right.
That'll be helpful.
That'll help.
Absolutely.
But, before we move on, let's play a quick sponsor clip.
Every life is full of stories, and we all know someone whose story should be preserved. That's what an audio memoir is, a record of you or your loved one's life stories, family anecdotes, and poignant memories. We will talk online and then edit the recordings into episodes accompanied by family photos and contemporaneous images of the past, creating an enduring audio-visual experience. We all know someone who deserves an audio memoir.
Yeah, so thanks to Audio Memoir for sponsoring the channel. It's very helpful for us, and I think you get a discount of 10%, I think, if you place an order and mention Celtic World when you place the order.
Sounds good.
But before we move on, I think David has a special guest. I'll let you take it.
There's a special guest right here. I don't know if just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab him, okay?
I've been very curious about this all day. Oh, we got a new sign up behind us too.
Oh.
This was not what I was expecting.
What's what I was expecting either. That's a great wig.
Oh,
That's great.
that's great.
A plus.
Man, Tina's got it going on. I'm keeping
Very
this
nice.
shit on for the rest.
Yeah, you got to keep it on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Rangers fans are more like Ike Turner than Tina anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I don't even know how to start from there, but
That's classic, man.
so
That's classic.
like I said in the beginning, so we have 11 games left in the season, 9 games in the league. Well, I'm assuming we beat St. Mirren, but so how does this season end up? It's been a fucking we've had 4 managers if you take two Martin O'Neill reigns. It's just the amount of losses we've had in the league. I think I'll throw up the league table.
Is it 7?
Yeah, like so.
It burned my eyes.
7 games in the league. We actually now have the most goals in the league, which but we've
Really?
given up
Fucking hell.
more than Hearts.
We're like about
and
50
Motherwell.
goals less than we were last season, which is insane.
Mhm.
Yeah, so oh shit, I messed up. So I guess let me try to get that off. How does the season end up? I'll go to you first, Chris. How do you see it playing out? 9 games left. We need help. Like Hearts has, I guess, the opportunity. Like we only play them one more time, so they technically could win out from here and win the league, outside of beating us if they lose to us. But I don't know. Like, can you see it possible that we win 11 straight games and win a double?
I mean, is it possible? Sure.
Likely.
Likely is that's a hard ask because I mean, as much as this past weekend gave us, I feel like a boost, an emotional boost. You saw players going out Sunday night, having a pint and swinging from rafters and whatever. What if that is the what's the word I'm looking for? Like a teamsman, like something that's going to bond us together to finish strong. Sure, like I think Hearts can easily drop points. Huns could definitely drop points. I think Motherwell could drop points. I think that for us, I think if you take things one match at a time, you can kind of manage it, and that's kind of what I'm hoping that Martin O'Neill does. Were we set up to I play attacking football against Rangers this past weekend. No, we were a defensive 11 men behind the ball, and we defended well and we won the match. So if you take that approach, could it happen? Sure. Will it happen? I don't know. I mean, there's so many variables about who's hurt, who's coming back, who's going to step up, who's going to do X, Y, and Z. You start to take inventory of the things that you can control, such as, Sinisalo. Sinisalo as a sticks is better than Schmeichel, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going to play up top? Is it Shankara? Is it Maeda? Or is it Big Tom? Or is it, or it's the same people, but Iniacho.
Adamu.
Yeah. Or Adamu. I mean, all of the things are there for it to happen. But I think this season, above many seasons, and especially in the last 10 to 15 years, it's all about who's gonna make that step, and if we do it, we do it, and if we don't, we don't. You have to just shoot for it, I guess. To say it's a big question mark is that's the understatement of the year. But I think if we could do it, I think we should.
Yeah, so for me, I'll go with Strangelove. I do think we're going to win the league, and I don't think we need to win all 9 games in a row to do it, because I think I just put up the comment from Michael that I think Hearts will capitulate, and I think that's true. I just don't think they can keep it up, winning we have, I guess, winning these close games, but I think the pressure will get to them, and we've seen what happens to the Huns when the slightest pressure hits them. They fold, and so far at this stretch of the season, we seem to be not that we're upping our game, but we are just. And I think who was it last week? We had Paul from Dallas on, and it's just, is it like this kind of champions mentality that our side has, that we're able to pull shit out when it doesn't look like it's going to happen, and I think that might be the thing that is going to win us the league. But
what I think is going to be massive is this week here is the first midweek that we've had off since before Nancy, and I would like to think that was the reason that Celtic players got to go out and enjoy themselves on Sunday, because if we'd had a game on Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, there's no way in hell Martin would have let them out. But they've got the whole week. He let them go out, enjoy themselves, let these new guys immerse themselves with the new players, because they might never had a night out. Like the new guys we brought in, the lone guys especially, like Kvanchara, Araujo, they were the ones that looked like they were having their best time, they actually got to let loose, enjoy themselves. And I think I'd like to think Martin's going to get them down and actually going to be able to actually coach them for a couple of days and actually work on corners, actually work on attacking situations, actually work on how he wants the midfield to start working. And I think this weekend, I think we're going to, if we can push on this weekend and we win this game at the weekend against a team who has really been pushing, Dundee showed how to beat them last weekend for the first time in 17, 18 games.
Mm-hmm.
If we can win this game 2 or 3 goals, I really do think that's going to basically show that we are right up for this, and we're going to push on. And also moving into the last 5 games when it goes to the split, we're actually going to have played 1 more away game than the other 2. So we should get 4 home games and 2 away games. And I believe we get do we get? I know we get Rangers at home, but do we get Hearts at home as well?
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, so we get both of them at home, and that's a massive plus.
Mhm.
But then following on for that, after the talks this week, we have to get the Green Brigade in and get that stadium rocking for those games. Make it somewhere that the other team fears. Because see, when the crowd is bouncing and the whole stadium singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" because it's a game that matters. Like, if you're a professional footballer and that doesn't get you fucking going, then you shouldn't be anywhere near the Celtic team. So let's all get behind the team. I know everybody's mad at the board. We're all fucking pissed off with them. They've completely made a mess of what they're doing. But let's just forget about that until the end of the season. Let's get behind the team, support Martin, and let's go after this double and let's fucking win it.
Here.
Agreed. But
Oh, you're the best!
quick aside, does the events of last weekend stop the Green Brigade from getting allowed back in the stadium?
I think it does.
I think it could.
I
hope
think it does.
doesn't, but because I think that I think it's a perfect time to bring him back now. Like, you going into the last games.
It's not even in the board's hands really right now. Apparently, it's a police.
Yeah, I read that today. Yeah,
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the Green Brigade didn't have anything to do with,
No, I mean, I agree, but I think it's just optically, I think is how I see. It's just me speculating on how the board sees it. Not that I don't think the Green Brigade had anything to do with it. I think it's more how
there's a whole thing
the
about
club
like
spends it.
safety certificates and all of that shit that goes on. If we can't get these, like, is it Celtic that actually closed the Green Brigade, or did the police actually like remove the safety certificate? They'll probably never tell us that, to be honest. I mean,
I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard today that one of the stipulations for even thinking about them coming back in from the police and from that the stadium safety board or whatever it is that the Green Brigade had to remove all language, chants, songs, whatever.
Don't say bad things about the police.
Exactly. It's like,
it's so petty.
It's just it's really hard to. You can't really make it up, It's like, just the most like backward, weird, situation there. Is it?
No,
I mean, it's like our government, right? Like it's very, very similar.
I'll take us down a whole nother tangent there.
Oh, that's a whole different podcast. That
one. Sorry.
I would like to go there someday.
Similarities are striking.
Agreed.
But
I think that as long as Celtic, worries about themselves and, play. I mean, we're going to be getting some guys back. How much of a difference that's going to make is, remains to be seen. But, I think morale seems like it's really high right now. And I think that sense of togetherness and camaraderie, and we're playing, for Martin, we're playing as a team. We're playing for everybody. We're playing for the badge. You're not. That goes a long way to having a goalkeeper that's guys can feel put trust in. There's no. I think we'll probably drop points, just because I think everybody else is going to as well.
Yeah.
And whoever, I think. Probably except for Hearts, who seem to be kind of finding a way, if you will, lately.
They're also grinding out results like what we are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think I think, that Hearts match in April will be probably league defining. Because I mean, I think, Motherwell, I think this weekend is going to be tough. I think it's going to be a really tough game. The fact that it's at home, I think, is huge. And, after the win on Sunday, I think guys are going to, and I think, David, that was a really good point about having some time on the pitch on the training pitch to really get some things like ironed out.
Yeah, just a couple of days. Like we haven't had that. It's
right. It's been insane, and I mean, and that's really been, even as somebody, running the supporters club and stuff, like, it's been asking a lot, for people to come out so often, to matches, and the product on the TV hasn't been great for most matches, and the excitement level is kind of like with how nerdy things have been. So, but I think that Sunday was a real shot in the arm for a lot of us.
Agreed.
And then I think there was a comment saying, like Celtic really tends to kind of get going in the spring. I think that's very true. I think we're getting out of the doldrums now. So I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, let's wrap it up, and we'll do predictions first for the weekend. I'll go to you first, Chris.
2-0 Celtic.
I don't even need to go to you. I can just mark that down, that scoreline down. Sean.
Every time.
I'll say 3-2 Celtic.
Gonna sweat out another one. Dave,
I think every match is going to be like that.
You're right. It's been like that all season. Why wouldn't it change?
I think we're going to put a marker down. I think morale's going to be up. I think I'm going to go with 3-0, and I'm going to go with 3 early goals in the first half. And I think we're going to push on from there. I think we'll make some subs in the second half, rest the good guys, and I think we're going to push on. I do. I think that win on last weekend is really going to bring everybody together. So,
dig it.
I hope so. I am with Michael on the comment there, 2-1, and like Chris always says 2-0. I think probably 90% of the time I'm saying 2-1 Celtic.
Yeah.
But 94th minute goal from Sinisalo.
Throwing up there
Why not?
to get the 3 points.
Why not?
But I mean, honestly, how many times have we had even a 2-goal win this year? It's not a lot.
Not many.
3 goals. God, I can't even imagine. I can't even remember what that.
Well, look at the European game. We even went 3-0 up, and we still nearly fucked that. You know what I mean? Like, even 3 goals wasn't enough. We were still like panicking for like most of the game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally. All right. So Saturday game will be nice too. We've been on Sundays a lot lately, just with European games. So it'd be good to get a Saturday.
Saturday means you can drink more.
Yeah. I'll be up in New York. I'm gonna I might try to get over to the Fenian boys if I can time my trip right to drop my kid off there up in New York to go back to school.
Yeah, it's our Patty's Day parade Saturday,
so
it'll be insane at Cork.
So, that'll be good. We like insane, but well, thanks guys for joining us. Thanks Dave, Sean for joining us tonight, or Tina, whatever your name is over there.
Mrs. Turner.
Thanks for everyone getting in the comments, and if you can give a like and subscribe to the channel. We had a few new guys on here. Eric and Michael were in the comments tonight, and so it's good to have you guys on. And we're on every Wednesday night, same at this time, so 8 o'clock Eastern time over here. Usually 1 a.m. Celtic time. It's midnight this week with the clocks being changed. But Yeah. So I don't know. Let's move on. 9 or 11 games to a double, and which would be one to massively celebrate with the way the season has gone. And I think we're going to win the league, and that's my main focus. The Scottish Cup is gravy for me. If we win that, that's great. But like, we need to win the league. And
absolutely.
So thanks for joining us tonight. Me and Chris got to get together and figure out who we're going to get on next week. And hail.
Check it out.
We'll be back next
Hail,
week.
hail.
Cheers.